So Dillian Whyte said recently that Deontay Wilder got knocked out in sparring by Wladimer Klitschko, and Tyson Fury seems to believe Dillian Whyte's claims. So what did Tyson Fury actually say? Tyson Fury said, "But whatever, sparring is sparring. It's all in the gym. It's allowed there. If you get knocked out in the gym, it's better to get knocked out there than to get knocked out in a championship fight." Tyson Fury also said, "I know it to be true. I don't know Dillian Whyte to tell lies for no reason. Dillian was probably there. He was there actually. I've heard it from other people apart from Dillian Whyte. People who are close to Klitschko and had nothing to do with it." So those are the words of Tyson Fury. So Tyson Fury believes Dillian Whyte say that Deontay Wilder got knocked out in sparring by Klitschko. This was earlier on in Deontay Wilder's career when he was sparring Klitschko. Yeah, this is Deontay Wilder here in Klitschko's camp. I believe that Dillian Whyte, obviously Deontay Wilder was here, probably some other fighters as well that we probably more recognize now. I think I saw a picture of Iago Kiladze as well, the guy that actually dropped Tefe Jagba in the camp in a separate picture somewhere on another site. So yeah, so a lot of guys have actually been in Klitschko's camp. But back to Deontay Wilder, the claim that he got knocked out in sparring. What do I make of Deontay Wilder potentially getting knocked out in sparring by Wladimer Klitschko? I haven't heard it from enough people. I haven't heard enough people come out to say this is the case, that Deontay Wilder definitely got knocked out in sparring. I haven't heard it from enough people because I obviously know Dillian Whyte is saying it so he can sell a potential fight with Deontay Wilder and to also get under Deontay Wilder's skin and potentially force a fight against the WBC champ if he's able to beat Tyson Fury, because he has to get through Tyson Fury first. But Deontay Wilder getting knocked out by Wladimer Klitschko in sparring. I don't think Dillian Whyte would lie in this case, because I think I kind of agree with Tyson Fury saying I don't know if Dillian Whyte to tell lies for no reason. The only thing I can think Dillian Whyte could do is potentially exaggerate what happened to Deontay Wilder. But one thing I did know that I've heard from many sources that Deontay Wilder was dropped by Klitschko. But this is the first time I'm hearing that Deontay Wilder was knocked out by Klitschko. So I need to wait and see so other fighters come out and potentially say the same thing before I can just say it. Because before I can just agree with Dillian Whyte, because is Dillian Whyte just saying that because he wants to force the fight with Deontay Wilder? Or is he telling the truth and Deontay Wilder was really knocked out by Wladimer Klitschko? Because if he was knocked out by Wladimer Klitschko, that might actually explain one of the reasons why Deontay Wilder never challenged Wladimer Klitschko for unification. Because Tyson Fury took on Klitschko before Tyson Fury took on Klitschko before Wilder did, and Wilder had the WBC. So I don't know why Wilder didn't unify with Wladimer Klitschko. Was it Deontay Wilder's handlers that knew that Deontay Wilder got knocked out by Klitschko, and as a result were kind of dissuaded, or just had no case, I had no will to put Deontay Wilder in with veteran Wladimer Klitschko, who Deontay Wilder got knocked out by in sparring? Does that explain the reason why Deontay Wilder didn't take the fight with Klitschko? Because Tyson Fury fought Klitschko, Anthony AJ fought Klitschko, and out of the big three that we say, Deontay Wilder's the only one that didn't fight Wladimer Klitschko. And it's a bit strange, because I think Shelly Finkel came out and still said something like he's a baby. Is he a baby because he got knocked out by Wladimer Klitschko? Dropped? Obviously, this is Dillian Whyte says that Deontay Wilder got knocked out. In sparring, but I just have to wait and see what other fighters potentially come out and see. Tyson Fury said he's heard from other fighters that Deontay Wilder's got knocked out in sparring, but can we take Tyson Fury's word? Because Tyson Fury says a lot of things. One day he will say he's heard from a lot of people that Deontay Wilder's been knocked out in sparring. Next minute he's going to be talking about, when you ask him who are the people who told you that, he'll be saying something completely different. Because one day Tyson Fury says one thing, another day he says another thing. Today he could say people said Deontay Wilder got knocked out. Tomorrow he'll say I never said any. I never said. Tomorrow he'll say I never said. I know people who said that Deontay Wilder got knocked out. So yeah, for me, I just think that sparring is sparring. I would say that that's much younger in Deontay. That was a bit further down in Deontay Wilder's career. Would if Deontay Wilder fought, if the Deontay Wilder of today fought the Klitschko that fought Anthony Joshua, what would the result actually be? That's the question I have, because Deontay Wilder now, his technique and his skills and the way he goes about his fights is much more intelligent than it used to be. Because if you compare his fights now to fights he's had with people like Johan Duopa, Chris Ariola, and even Alpha Spilka, Deontay Wilder is much better technically. He seems to be a much smarter fighter in terms of the way he goes about his business. So I can't. Dillian Whyte talking about Deontay Wilder got knocked out by Wladimer Klitschko. I don't think Dillian Whyte should be using that as a yardstick to say that means I'm going to knock out Deontay Wilder, because the Deontay Wilder that got knocked out by Klitschko, first of all, that was Wladimer Klitschko, not Dillian Whyte. Second of all, Deontay Wilder doesn't fight the same way that he was fighting in those days. So, in my opinion, I think Dillian Whyte is using this to try and push a fight with Deontay Wilder, because he's been going after that WBC belt for a while. He wants to fight for that belt, and Deontay Wilder's not been giving him the opportunity. I think I saw somewhere about Deontay Wilder talking about he weren't fighting for 2 years or something like that. I don't know, but I suspect that WBC mandatory against Dillian Whyte, if he's still the mandatory, will probably take place in 2021. But yeah, Dillian Whyte claims that Deontay Wilder was knocked out in sparring by Wladimer Klitschko. Drop your comments in the comment section below. What do you guys think? Do you think Deontay Wilder was knocked out in sparring by Wladimer Klitschko? Do you believe the words of Dillian Whyte? What do you think would happen if Dillian Whyte fought Deontay Wilder? Do you think Dillian Whyte would be knocked out? Do you think Deontay Wilder would be knocked out? What would happen if Deontay Wilder actually fought Wladimer Klitschko? Like, subscribe, drop your comments in the comment section below. Peace out, guys. Cool.